Alright guys, so this is going to be example game 1 using the Jund deck. This is a pretty good example with the Retrace, so I wanted to showcase this one. Opening hand, 2 forests, Evolving Wilds can fetch me the red I need for Flame Jab to get that thing going. Echoing Decay, Double Horn Kavu, not great to see with no other creatures, but hopefully we'll draw into something by the time that comes around. So my opponent goes on the first, plays off the elves. It's pretty good. It'll give me a nice target for Flame Jab later on to get that off the field. Again, I apologize if I talk a little slow in this one. I'm trying to keep from excuse me, coughing like that into the mic. But so my opponent puts a plains down. Those are going to be his 2 colors. Throws down another Elvish Visionary. These 1/1 elves make nice targets for Flame Jab. Draw a 3rd forest, and this is where I talked about getting no more than 2 of each color. So, I'm going to be able to put 2 forests into play and then start discarding like a madman. Let's open up the graveyard just to show this right here. Okay. So, yet another forest. And like I said, not a bad spot. Use Flame Jab. First target is clearly going to be this one. You want to keep his land ramp under control as best as possible. If he's using the Land of Werewolves, he clearly needs the 1 mana off it, so get rid of that first thing. Taking some, drawing more land, still forests, so it does leave me with 3 more turns that I can use Flame Jab. You'll see this stack up real quick. Opponent cycles the Tusker. I did make the choice to get rid of the Visionary before starting to hit my opponent, because I just felt it was clear the field, and then if I get creatures going, it'll be a pretty good game from there. Excuse me. So my opponent playing a little land fetch of his own with the giant. His does come into play. So he's ramping up to something, and the only big thing I've seen so far is the Tusker, so not terribly afraid. Echoing Decay won't hit it. This can end up with some combo tricks later on to clear off the giant. Draw into yet another forest, so I'm going to again Flame Jab and pass the turn. It's going to go this way for a little while, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes. I'll draw into another forest, Flame Jab, and pass the turn. Like I said, it's a good example game on how Retrace has an impact. I have the extra land. There's no point in not doing it. You want to make sure you just keep using that Flame Jab over and over. Now I draw Raven's Crime. I have my other component, and just Flame Jab past the turn, because I do not have black mana yet, but that's okay. Flame Jab's good, not great, because it comes at sorcery speed. You can't really do anything for combat tricks. So I can't use it multiple times. It doesn't do counters or anything like that. It's just 1 damage, so I can't kill off the giant with that. I can use it in combination with the Decay to do 3, but that's about it. So drawing the Elder, and this is where I talked about there's no real need to do more than 2 of each color, but when you have a play, make the play. So I am going to put a 3rd forest into play so that I can play this Wickleboro Elder. That kind of draws a stalemate between the giant and the Elder. Harrier comes down. I can use the Flame Jab to kill it if I get a land. If not, I do have the Echoing Decay, and I can use that. So I am going to use the Ranger that I draw to get a land. Getting a swamp on this one because it gives me some outs with the Raven's Crime and Echoing Decay. I will use it to play the Echoing Decay and stop the Harrier, just because it will cancel out my Elder and get some more damage through. But we now have the Ranger makes a really great target for the Kavu in the early game, so that's going to work really well, and we can get some of the land ramp going to work out the Retrace over and over. So he plays more land, still no real big creatures to do it. I'm going to throw out the Kavu. There's no point in attacking first. You might say attack first so you can try and get damage through and then bounce the Ranger, but if he makes the choice to block the Ranger, it dies, and then I have to use the Elder for the Kavu. So I'm just going to bounce the Ranger. I have the mana to replay it, and still cast Raven's Crime. I grab a second mountain. Like I said, I want to hit the two of each, and especially when it comes to the flame jab, having two black is not so critical. Having two red is more of an important play, so that I can use it later on for multiple flame jabs in a turn. But again, passing the turn, these two just cancel each other out. But now that I have the Cabo, I can attack with both, and you can only jump block one, and prevent half the damage. So another Harrier comes down. Again, no answer unless I get a land, which I do. And then I can use the flame jab once again to kill it off and swing through. Like I said, pretty much leaving the ranger at home. If I swing through, he has the option. He's got a high enough life total, he can just jump block and kill the ranger. And I want to use it right now for the Kavu. I could save it for the Blastoderm, but I felt that it was a stronger play here to get as many creatures in play as fast as possible. Do this, leave myself the mana to, play one of the Retrace cards if necessary. Off the Ranger, I can play it here and get the Raven's Crime. Didn't have a third mountain is what I would have needed to retrace the Flame Jab on this one. But I just grab a forest. I know I don't need any more of those, and I can use it later on to retrace these. So passing the turn to my opponent, you see he's getting rid of Marshalling Cry. I guess his deck's built on a whole bunch of weenies and then getting Marshalling Cry to beef it up. But Tusker does come down. That's going to be big trouble for me. It's hard to get through, but I do top deck the Terminate that I need to clear the way, and have the mana open to play Blastoderm after I swing with everything. Now I can attack with the Ranger. If he kills it, that's fine. He's going to take 3 extra damage in doing so. And I don't have any more Kabus to bounce around. I'll have the Blastoderm in play to use with the Kabu later on if I need to, but I might as well swing that one and see what happens. It's extra damage either way. So Blastoderm comes down. My opponent does decide to concede here. You see he is sitting across from me. I got 2 Kavus. I have the Elder and the Blastoderm. He's only got this one blocker. I'm assuming he did not draw another creature. Very heavy on the land. 3 cards in hand. He was dead on this turn. But this is kind of what I was talking about with the Retrace, and I wanted to add the Raven's Crime and the Flame Jab. Is because if you run Mana Ramp, see here my opponent is running Tusker plus the Giant, you end up with a situation like this, where you come to the mid-game and you've got all this extra land and nothing to do with it. You see how it worked with me. I ran into all this extra land, and I got 4, 5, 6 lands that I was able to get rid of with Retrace, and use it to help keep my opponent down. So I just thought this was a good example. Not only shows the retraceability, but kind of what I was trying to avoid through my opponent's deck.